Hello and welcome to our documentary, The Cultural and Social Legacy of Musicals, from Broadway to Hollywood. Today, we embark on a journey through time, uncovering how musicals have evolved and shaped both art and society. From their humble beginnings on the stage to their grand adaptation onto the silver screen, musicals have left an undeniable impact. Theater is more than just entertainment. It is a form of artistic expression that merges the power of storytelling with the emotional depth of music and the visual spectacle of dance. For centuries, audiences have been drawn to the magic of musicals, captivated by their ability to convey deep human emotions through song, movement, and dramatic performance. Whether they explore the heights of joy or depths of despair, they create an experience that lingers long after the curtain falls. At their core, musicals are about storytelling. The instrumentals bring to light the themes of love, ambition, hardship, and triumph. They allow us to live through the characters who sing their emotions. They offer an escape, but also a profound connection to our own realities, making us laugh, cry, and more. Musicals have long played an important role in cultural and social evolution. They have reflected the changing times, from optimism and glamour of early Broadway productions to the raw, socially conscious narratives of modern musical theater. Over the years, they have served as a mirror to society, tackling issues like race, class, gender, and identity, sometimes in ways that other forms of media cannot. Are also a celebration of collaboration. Unlike other forms of performance, which may rely primarily on acting or music alone, musicals are a symphony of multiple disciplines working together in harmony. For example, composers, lyricists, playwrights, choreographers, set designers, costume artists, and performers come together to create something greater than the sum of its parts. Each element enhances the other. Music brings emotion to the story, dance adds dynamism to the characters, and visual transport audiences into the main focus of the narrative. A live musical is a shared experience, one that connects performers and audience members in a unique dialogue. Every night, a different audience brings a different energy, making each performance singular, alive, and irreplaceable.
Yet the influence of musical extends far beyond the stage. The golden age of Hollywood ushered in a new era, where musicals found a home on the silver screen, reaching audiences across the world. Musical films have brought the magic of the stage to cinema, creating an entirely new way for people to experience the genre. Today, with streaming services and online platforms, musicals are more accessible than ever, allowing people from all walks of life to engage with and appreciate this art from form in ways that were once unimaginable. And what makes musical truly timeless is their ability to adapt, evolve, and remain relevant in every era. They can be bold and experimental, breaking the conventions of traditional storytelling, or they can embrace nostalgia, remind us of the classics that have stood the test of time. They appeal to all generations, uniting audience through their universal themes and emotional depth. Whether it's a grand Broadway production, a small community theatre show, or a new musical streamed in the comfort of one's home, musicals have a way of making us feel part of something larger than ourselves.
This documentary is a tribute to that legacy. It is a celebration of the music, the stories, the artistry, and the impact that musicals have had on our culture and society. So, as we take you on this journey from Broadway to Hollywood, from the golden age to the digital age, we invite you to rediscover the wonders of musicals, their power to move, inspire, and transform us all.
Musicals have been part of human culture for centuries. They combine music, acting, and dance to create stories that are emotional, exciting, and unforgettable. But where did they begin? Long before Broadway and Hollywood, theater and music were already connected. In ancient Greece, plays included chorus that sang to narrate the story. Later, during the Middle Ages, religious theater in Europe used to use music to make stories more engaging. However, musicals as we know them today started developing in the 19th century. At that time, there were two main types of musical performances: operetta and vaudeville. In Europe, operettas were a lighter, more entertaining form of opera. Composers like Gilbert and Sullivan created operettas that include comedy, catchy songs, and spoken dialogue. Meanwhile, in the US, vaudeville was extremely popular. Vaudeville shows were a mix of short performances, singing, dancing, comedy, and even magic tricks, all in one night. These two traditions helped shape the modern musical. As musicals developed, elements from both traditions persisted. Without these foundations, the evolution of the musical as we know it might have taken a completely different path. Operettas and vaudeville may have had different origins, but both share the goal of entertaining audiences through the combination of musical and performance. Operettas, with their structured narratives and classical influence, appealed to those who enjoyed a more refined theatrical experience. Meanwhile, vaudeville embraced variety, offering something for everyone, from slapstick comedy to heartfelt ballads. This blend of high and low entertaining eventually merged into the modern musical, which took the storytelling depth of operettas and diverse energy of vaudeville to create a new art form. By the late 19th and early 20th centuries, Broadway was becoming the heart of musical theater in America. One of the first major productions was The Black Crook in 1866, which many consider to be the first true musical because it combined a full story with music and dance. Soon, composers like George M. Cohan and Jerome Kern started creating a more American style of musicals, moving away from European influences and focusing on storytelling through song. Then everything changed with the invention of sound films. In 1927, The Jazz Singer became the first movie with recorded dialogue and music. It was a major success, and Hollywood quickly realized that musicals could be incredible on the big screen. During the 30s and the 40s, actors like Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers became famous for their elegant and entertaining musical films, full of impressive dance numbers and romantic stories. At the same time, Broadway continued to evolve. In the 40s, Rodgers and Hammerstein revolutionized the industry with Oklahoma. Instead of just using songs for entertaining, they made music an essential part of storytelling. Every song helped develop the characters and advance the plot. This was turning point for musicals, making them more emotional, deep, and connected to real life themes. Their later works, like Carousel and South Pacific, followed this style, changing the future of musical theater. Musicals have come a long way from their early days. They started as simple performances with music, but over time they evolved into a major part of entertainment. More than just for performances, musicals became a reflection of society, showing the dreams, struggles, and emotions of different generations. Whether on stage or in movies, musicals continue to bring people together. Their mix of music, dance, and storytelling makes them unique, emotional, and unforgettable. The way they blend all these elements creates an experience that speaks to people's hearts.
As the time passed, musicals started to reflect social and political changes. In the 1950s and the 60s, some productions focused on serious topics instead of just romance or comedy. For example, the West Side Story told the story of two rival gangs and explored racism and immigration issues in America. It was inspired by Romeo and Juliet, but it gave the classic love story a modern and dramatical twist. During this period, musical theater became a powerful tool for social commentary. Productions like West Side Story didn't just entertain, they made audience confront real-world issues. The musical's exploration of racial tension, immigration, and gang violence was groundbreaking at the time, showing that musicals could be more than just light-hearted entertainment. The dynamic choreography by Jerome Robbins and Leonard Bernstein, emotionally charged music, weightened the drama, making the show a landmark in musical history. In the late 60s, cabaret shocked audiences by showing life in Nazi Germany, mixing love, danger, and politics. Instead of just entertaining, musicals started making people think. Then came the 1980s and 90s, a time when musicals became even bigger and more dramatic. Productions like Les Miserables and Phantom of the Opera became global sensations, playing in theater all over the world. These musicals had huge sets, powerful songs, and deep emotional stories that left audience speechless. But not all musicals follow this traditional style. Rent, which premiered in 1996, was completely different. It focused on young artists struggling with poverty, love, and illness in New York City. It also introduced rock music into the world of musical theater, attracting younger audiences who want something fresh and real. As we enter the 21st century, musicals continue to change and grow. Hamilton became one of the biggest successes of all time by mixing hip hop with historical storytelling, making history exciting for a new generation. Movie musicals also made a big comeback with films like La La Land, The Greatest Showman, and In the Wait bringing musical storytelling back to Hollywood. Today, musicals are more accessible than ever. That's to streaming service and online platforms. People from all over the world can enjoy Broadway productions from their own homes. Musicals continue to evolve, exploring new themes, different styles, and diverse voices. Whether on a stage, in movies, or even in digital forms, musicals remain one of the most powerful ways to tell a story. This shift in storytelling paved the way for more socially conscious productions, addressing themes like war, rebellion, and freedom. By tackling contemporary issues, musicals prove their ability to reflect and influence society, changing audience to think beyond the stage. The accessibility of musicals today was transformed the way people experience theater. With high quality recordings of Broadway's production available on platforms like Disney Plus and Netflix, audiences no longer have to travel to New York to see major shows. This has allowed musicals to reach a global audience, inspiring new generations of performers and fans. Additionally, social media has played a huge role in spreading musical culture, with viral clips and cast performances making even lesser known productions popular worldwide. Beyond traditional theater, musicals are also explaining into interactive and immersive experiences. Some productions, like The Great Comet of 1812, blur the line between audience and performer, while others experiment with virtual reality and digital storytelling. These innovations show that musicals are not just surviving in the digital age, they are evolving, finding new ways to engage audience and push artistic boundaries.
Musicals have come a long way from their early days. They start as simple performance with music, but over time they evolve into a major part of entertainment. More than just fun performance, musicals became a reflection of society, showing the dreams, struggles, and emotions of different generations. Whether on a stage or in movies, musicals continue to bring people together. Their mix of music, dance, and storytelling make them unique, emotional, and unforgettable. The way they blend all these elements creates an experience that speaks to people's hearts. What makes musicals so special is their ability to change and adapt to new times. They can be classic and nostalgic, like the sound of music, or modern and experimental, like Hamilton. They can make us laugh, cry, or even think about social issues. Musicals combine many forms of art, and that's why they stay relevant in every era. And musicals are not going anywhere. They will continue to transform using new technologies and creative ideas to tell fresh stories. Whether you love classic Broadway, modern productions, or musical films, one thing is certain: musicals will continue to inspire, entertain, and bring people together for many years to come. Musicals have always been a reflection of their time, adapting to cultural shifts will maintain their core appeal. In the early days, operettas and vaudeville introduced humor, spectacle, and melody, shaping the foundation of what would become modern musical theater. As Broadway emerged as a dominant force, composers and playwrights refined the genre, using music not just as entertainment.
Characters and advanced plots. This evolution set the stage for groundbreaking works that would redefine the way audiences experience theater. The mid-20th century saw musicals take on a greater emotional and thematic depth, with productions like Oklahoma and West Side proving that musicals could address real-world issues while still delivering unforgettable songs and performances. At the same time, alternative productions like Rent and Hair embrace contemporary music themes, appealing to younger audiences and reflecting modern struggles. Musicals has expanded beyond traditional theater spaces. Streaming devices, social media, and live recordings allow people worldwide to experience Broadway from their homes, making the genre more inclusive and far-reaching than ever before. Shows like Hamilton have demonstrated how musical theater can mix historical storytelling with modern styles, while productions like Sixth Form and Hadestown highlight how diverse influences can breathe new life into the art of form. This constant reinvention keeps musical fresh, relevant, and deeply connected for audiences of all ages. As musicals move forward, they continue to embrace new voices, perspectives, and technologies. Interactive theater, virtual experiences, and experimental productions push the boundaries of what musical can be, ensuring the art form remains innovative. Whether through the spectacle of Broadway, the intimacy of Broadway productions, or the accessibility of digital platforms, musicals will continue to hold a special place in storytelling. They remind us of our shared emotions, struggles, and dreams, proving no matter how much the world changes, the power of music and theater will endure.